BS Show Season 3, Episode 16. Sean Gancards with Justin Chasmore and Adam Tyne as always. And Adam, we were talking a little earlier pre-show before Chaz joined us. Starting to realize how tough this gambling thing is and how incredible and unlikely of a run we kind of went on last year.
Yeah, we were talking pre-show, and I wasn't advanced gambler in the beginning. I'm starting to learn it now, and pretty incredible, man. It's kind of like you don't realize it. It's like when Brady went to all those championships in the beginning. You just didn't realize that,
Yeah, how special it was. I mean, the run last year is a winning percentage that is literally unheard of in a gambling world. And now, we're coming in this year, 3-6 week, and we follow that up. We had another 3-6 week this previous past week, and now the 59, 57-1 record, while technically winning, is not ideal on the gambling aspect. Still have a few weeks left to save it. Make the numbers look good for the season. We got some playoffs too. Maybe steal some more wins to bail us out. If you want to add the GOAT Gonzo's record onto it, we're actually looking kind of good. But Gonzo, another winner last night when the Ravens, Chaz, taking down Dallas pretty easy. A little quick reaction to that one, and mainly that run game from Baltimore.
Yeah, we'll get in more of them later because they got Monday night. But got back on track. The run game looked amazing. Lamar Jackson looked healthy with his legs, which was good to see. But they got the win. I'll get into later, but wasn't the ideal showing, even though they won by 17. But J.K. I'll say for the rest of the year, J.K. Dobbins needs to be the lead guy there. He comes in and it's just an automatic spark to that offense. And every time I see Mark Ingram on the field now, I really wonder what John Harbaugh's doing.
Hey, Grub, yeah, literally Edwards, Lamar, J.K. Didn't matter who was running the ball. It seemed like they were getting 7-8 yards every time they touched it until Ingram came in to fucking fall 3 yards forward every time and just kill that vibe. With that said, before we get into this game, before we get to the Ravens, I will say this. Everybody knows I have been rather, some would say, a basher towards Lamar Jackson this year on the show. And I will say this. I saw a lot of tweets, people calling out Lamar for his only 107 passing yards, but I got to be fair about this one. I mean, those people, there's some things you have to watch, like watch a fucking game. Dallas could not stop the fucking run. He had no reason to throw the ball. And when he did throw the ball, I will say this. That touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown in the back corner of the end zone might have been the best throw I ever seen Lamar Jackson make in his career
100%.
so far.
100%. It's not even close.
Yeah,
that throw was something else.
That was the best throw I ever seen him make. That was the first time I said, wow, maybe he can.
Yeah, but then like 3 plays before that, it's like a 4-yard slant. Dude's wide open. He throws 10 feet over his head.
Yeah, well, the pick where you can make the argument maybe second hand could have got up, maybe could have been caught. That ball was pretty high too. And, that at the time too was before the touchdown pass. And I'm laughing saying there's the Lamar I know, just sail on a little bit right there. But I will give him that credit. Honestly, passing yards weren't there. They didn't have to be. If you watch the fucking game, Baltimore dominated them. 2, running 7-8 yards every time they kept the ball on the fucking ground. No need to throw in. Some of the better throws he did make, but let's get into this week. NFL, well-balanced schedule. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we got 7 games at 1 and we got 6 at 4. That's one of my favorite things to see come Sunday when we have that. But as always, it starts with Thursday night and Gonzo. We got the Rams 5-point favorites at home over a New England Patriot team who all of a sudden is back to 500 football and in a playoff race. Is anybody surprised? Probably not. Over under 45.5. Chaz, as always, it starts with Gonzo.
Yep, four straight wins, 10-4. You really just can't make this up from a cat. With that being said, he is taking the Rams -5 here. And I was actually leaning this way, so I'm glad he picked them. Gank, I'll go to what you say all the time. You're not as good as the week before. And the Patriots, obviously, we were all over them last week, -1. They won 45-0. Obviously, they didn't have to travel home because they're playing in LA again. but I think this Rams defense is going to be too much. I think they slow down that running game with Damian Harris and Cam and make Cam throw the ball and beat them with his arm. And we've seen in weeks past, Cam, when he needs to do that, it doesn't really bode well for the Pats. I know they're playing well. I think they've won 3 out of the last 4, got themselves back to 500. But Rams 8-4, right in the thick of things for that division. I think they take care of business here at home. I'll take the Rams 23-14.
Jazzy, I am with you, and I'm with Gonzo completely. Obviously, I've been on the Rams all year, and they gave me a nice win last week. My thing is the Rams see this as a huge game because they got to keep up with their seeding and possibly the NFC West, like you're talking about. And I mean, all credit to Bill Belichick and the Pats. Their team is so much worse than last year, and they have found a way to be 6-6. I mean, Gunnar Olszewski, or what the heck is his name? The guy had like 2 touchdowns, like a blocked punt or something like that. The guy was killing it last week.
God makes a team for special teams too. Only reason why he's on the team.
Unbelievable. Only in New England would that guy be that good. Of course. But I see the Rams D really stop in New England. And Cam, like you said, not having a big day. And I just see Aaron Donald eating up that offensive line. And the Pats lose this one and just really aren't there. So I got almost the same score as you, but I'll go 24-14 LA.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to do the whole running of the Bulls intro on the show now too. We're gonna have to bring that up. I need to get used to that. With that said, running of the Bulls 4-3 last week. Gift card will carry over, so now we're up to a possible $40 this week. And now we know we're thinking Thursday Night Football. Gonzo's on the Rams, Chaz on the Rams, Adam on the Rams. I should start off with running the Bulls, but I'm gonna ruin everyone's dreams right now because I'm not. I'm actually be going against Gonzo here. I am going to pick the Rams to win this game. I think my favorite bet right now in this one too, though, is going to be under 44.5. We've seen Cam Newton, especially against some defenses and some games in general this year, has flat out struggled. And I think this is a Rams defense that's going to make him struggle. I think New England, Chaz, I think you said too, I think they're going to struggle running the ball and everything. But it is Belichick. They'll find a way to score some points to hang around in it. And this Rams offense, where I don't know what I'm getting from the Rams offense anymore. Like you said, we seen McVay a couple of years ago. You knew the Rams offense to score every time they step on the field. And now you kind of don't know where Goff's going to throw the ball. If they want to run the ball heavy this week, if they want to throw it heavy. I don't know what I'm going to get, but I do think New England's defense is kind of just been better than what the Rams offense has been the past year and a half. And I like their matchup a little bit better against the Rams offense, where I think they even slow them up too. I think this game is pretty entertaining, close score-wise. It's going to be boring, little boring score-wise, but if you like defensive football, this game could be very entertaining for you because I see this one as Rams winning this 17-13 and kind of a slugfest that's still going to come down to the end.
17-13. It's like
yeah, that's true actually. Except that was what 14-3,
10-3.
That was 3. Jesus,
dude, the first touchdown wasn't to the fourth quarter. Like
it was the first and last touchdown of the game.
They're like 50 plays in like opposing territory of each or something shit like that.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that was something.
The over-under was like in the mid-50s.
Yeah, you'll see some more touchdowns earlier. Like you said, primetime game, nighttime game. It's going to be entertaining because I think it stays close all the way through, but not shootout entertaining. This is close game. 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot, getting in a good defensive battle. Entertaining, I think. Should still be fun to watch. Now it's to bring me to my Red Hot Giants, who have now won 4 in a row. That's right. Count them, 4 in a row. Giants have, I can't even remember the last time they lost now, but I will say this: Giants playing at MetLife, 2.5-point underdogs to Arizona here. Arizona, as you said too, Adam, pre-show, is one fail Hail Mary away from also being 5-7 with the Giants here on a bigger losing streak. But Giants, 2.5-point dogs at home. Over under 45.5. And the way both these teams are playing right now, there's absolutely no way I'm picking against the Giants in this one. Giants for starters. I mean, this game kicking off on December 13th. Once it comes, Giants. It's been a month since the Giants played at home at MetLife Stadium. Last home game back in November, I believe, on the 15th. And Giants coming in 4-game win streak. Obviously, it sucks. Corona, you got no crowd to come out to with the energy, but sure, it's to be nice for them finally return to their home field, a little more comfortability. And I think the Giants stay rolling here. I think they find a way to score enough points. I don't think a ton of points against Arizona, but I think Giants defense is just I think they match up well against almost anyone, especially this Arizona team that it's pretty similar offensively to what we've seen from Russ and the Seahawks that the Giants were able to beat on the road last week. Give me the Giants at home in this one, 21-17.
Yeah, gang. I mean, we talked pre-show, and first of all, Arizona coming to a cold MetLife right now. I just think it's a really bad matchup for the Cardinals going against a good defense and having a bad defense where the Giants seem like they're going to play smart football. Danny Dimes is back, I believe, or expected to play. I think, Chaz, you told us that one. But I'm not going to pick against the Giants. I'm not nearly as confident as you because the Cardinals are due for a win eventually, and they're a talented enough team where they will figure it out. But the way this Giants D is playing, I mean, they just shut down Russell Wilson and that offense. So I think they'll do the same against Arizona's offense. And I see them it's a similar game to last week, but, might be shitty weather and they figure out a way to win. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done and they move to 6-7. So I'm going to take the Giants, a similar score to you. I will go 20-16.
Not running with the Bulls, boys.
Golf.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
I think the Giants win one of the next two, and I think they win next week. So I think this is the game that they lose. So I'm tipping my hand of next week, that Sunday night showdown now at the Browns, which is also incredible that they flex. Think about it, they flex the Cowboys out for the Browns and then the Giants. But I mean, it's going to be a good game. But with that being said, I think, it's two teams going in completely opposite directions. And I think all of us have just been not good at picking Cardinal games this year because we can't really get a read. Every time we think they're good, they drop all these games and then we think they're going to get back on track and they don't. But with that being said, this really just comes down to, I think the Giants win one of the next two. I don't think they win both. And I think they win next weekend, that Sunday night home game in MetLife, because when's the last time they had a game of that significance in MetLife? I'll take the Cardinals to win here. Giants get back on track next week. Cards 24-20.
I can't have that.
Yank is extremely upset with you, Chad.
Yeah, I really want to fire
Would you rather have them win this week or next week?
I'd rather have them win both weeks, to be honest.
Well,
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win both weeks.
Now
me be completely honest. I think they're going to win both weeks. But I think, if anything, Cleveland beats them. I don't think Arizona can beat this team right now.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, I just think Kyler took that hit against Seattle where something got fucked up with his shoulder and everything. He has not been close to the same since that hit, too.
I just think Cliff Kingsbury is maybe not that good of a coach.
AT's been called out Kingsbury for
bro. I mean, with that team, like their offense is legit. You got to put up points with that offense.
No, you're right.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. I also think it's the Giants defense. They could kind of just beat anyone that isn't Pat Mahomes right now.
They just beat Russ, so I can't. Really
sneakily a top 5 rush defense. And then when you have Bradbury, that could take out a number 1 receiver any given day. Scary matchup, but I just think the Giants match up better against Arizona than they do Cleveland. If the Giants are going to win one of the two, I think the better chances this week, personally. I would actually hate it less, Chas, if you fucking pick the Browns next week. That's how much it bothers me, because I just don't see Arizona beating the Giants. I see it more with the Browns than Arizona, but it's also football. I thought the Giants had no shot at beating the fucking Seahawks. So
I mean, nobody did.
Yeah,
hold Russ to 12 points. I mean,
true. stick with that NFC East. Oh God, these next 3 games are fucking neat. Christ. Dallas traveling to Cincinnati here. Dallas 3.5-point favorites on the road. Over under 42.5. And boys, this one seems like a good luck fucking game because you got a Dallas team that is obviously underperforming. Doesn't help Dak breaking his ankle and everything. But even when he was on the field, the team couldn't really figure out how to win. And then you had a Bengal team with a young quarterback in Joe Burrow that was, obviously not high expectations in terms of wins this season, but was playing well, and we want to get him excited until he also goes down with an injury. So that leads us with an Andy Dalton versus Brendan Allen still going out there for Cincy, or they gonna try something else yet?
He's the guy.
All right. So
I think they're almost content with losing, so I wouldn't worry about it.
yeah. So that's our matchup we got in Cincy this week. I guess spread 3.5. We just saw Dallas. We just talked about at the start of the show. We saw Dallas Baltimore ran down their fucking throats all game long. And you thought maybe since he can get Joe Mixon back and that could maybe open up the opportunity. But as we're hearing and tweeted earlier, that is looking very unlikely for Cincy. It looks like it's definitely going to be Gio Bernard again this week against Dallas. With that said, I'm actually going to take Dallas and probably win and cover this 3.5 spread. We have seen Dallas beat Minnesota. They just seem to have a little more success the past few weeks. They're not completely dead. Andy Dalton has a little bit more control and feel for this offense than he obviously did when he first came out to start right after the Dak injury against the Giants. And when it's all said and done, it's not saying much. I just think Dallas is the better team here. Better playmakers on offense. Trust Dalton more than I trust Brandon Allen. Give me the Cowboys to win and cover the 3.5, 24-20.
Yeah, Genk, I don't have too much on this game. I'm not going to pick the Bengals to really come close to beating anybody right now. They're just not playing very well. And the Cowboys are facing offensive line that might even be worse than their defensive line somehow. Maybe not, but this is just a bad trenches game right now. I see Zeke having a big day. The Cowboys play smart football and really just hand it to the Bengals because I don't know if the Bengals even want to win, like I said. And the Cowboys, at some point, they got to get a dub recently, right? I don't know. But, yeah, this is a crapshoot. I'm going to take the Cowboys by a touchdown, and I'll go 24-17 Dallas.
Yeah, this is not going to be the first one we run with. This is a crapshoot. And what I saw last night from the Cowboys defense, I know it's the Bengals, but that Cowboys defense it's something that we've never seen before. Like Gang said, on the pre-show, we could have ran for the Ravens last night and been churning up big yards. This Bengals team at home, they're not good, but I think they're going to keep it close because this Cowboys defense is that bad. And I think the Cowboys know that loss last night to the Ravens was kind of their final blow to this season, moving to 3-9, and obviously Washington and the Giants with the wins that they had. I'm going to take the hook here. I think Dallas wins, but not confident in this at all. Obviously, don't advise anyone to bet this game, but I'll take the Cowboys to win 20-17.
Dude, how embarrassing is the Cowboys defense? I haven't seen. It's got to be so disheartening as a team to just not be able to stop any type of run. They line up. And
The Ravens in the first half were averaging 13 yards a carry.
That's
It's
just
unbelievable. Fucking 4th and 2, and they just let Lamar walk right up the middle of the field, 30 fucking yards.
I love the baby.
Nobody there. Nobody was
The
30
whole middle of the field's wide open.
It was even better though, because Tucker was coming out to kick a field goal. Lamar was like, "Nah, stay over there." He runs to the touchdown. This Raven team that has lived off the run since the start of last season only needs 2 yards. Or this defense is leaving the middle of the field wide the fuck open for them to run right. Just go right the fuck ahead. If you think Lamar was throwing that football, you're at your mind.
Yeah. The fucking Moses parted the Red Sea for him because Dallas didn't want to put anyone there.
Oh, man.
That run was comical. I watched that and I did the typical. I'm sitting on my couch like laughing, like good D Dallas. Like it was that. It might have been the first touchdown throw from Lamar too. Where
Boykin?
What's that?
The Boykin.
Yeah,
was,
the
there
throw to
wasn't
Boykin, and nobody was within fucking 15 yards of the guy when he
15
caught the
yards,
ball. It was unbelievable.
well, they were playing man, and the one guy who man Boykin played zone, so there was just no one on. Oh, it's so funny.
That is the Dallas Cowboys. 20.
Yep.
That's their season for you. Yeah.
One guy on the team thought they were playing zone that play.
Well, why Lamar's able to find out who it was at least.
Yeah.
Game's not getting much better here, but maybe a little. We got Denver in Carolina. Carolina 3.5-point favorites at home, over under 46.5. And it's one of those games where I'm gonna pick Carolina to win and cover the 3.5, but mainly because they're home. I mean, if Denver's home, I think this whole line's flipped. If Denver's home, it's probably Denver minus 3.5. But you want to look at these teams. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater. I don't care for either of them, to be honest. I mean, Panthers are getting McCaffrey back. That's a big spark for their offense at home too and everything. But I mean, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and then you got Handler, whoever. Teams' defense is both good. Not great, I don't think, but both good. Teams are just very similar matchup. So I'm just going to pick the home team here, and I'm just going to pick the best player on the field and Christian McCaffrey too to get the job done for the Panthers and cover. I'm going to pick the same score I just picked in that Bengals-Cowboys game. Give me the Panthers 24-20.
Yeah, Gank. I mean, I like the Panthers here. I actually think that they're gonna play pretty well this week and put up a lot of points. Obviously, McCaffrey is a stud to have back, but I think Denver's loss last week kind of put them, I think, 4-8. If I'm
4-8, yep.
Yeah. So I mean, they're pretty much out of this. And Drew Lock, I thought had been playing decent, but against a kind of not good Chiefs defense, he made some really bad decisions, and I did not like what I saw. So I'm going to take Carolina because I just think they have more to play for and they kind of believe in what they're doing more. I do like the over here. I think Carolina is going to put up nearly 30 points just because that offense, when it's clicking against an average defense, can play well. But I like Carolina to win, cover, and kind of take care of this game easily. I will go 28-20 Carolina.
All right, first game we're running with the Bulls, boys.
I don't like running with the Bulls in this game, but I'll take it. We got one running at least.
On the Panthers. On the Panthers. I mean, obviously, Christian McCaffrey coming back is exciting for fantasy owners, but it's also the Panthers. Last time Christian McCaffrey played, they were missed field goal away from knocking off the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So this Panthers team is a lot different with Christian McCaffrey in the game, and they're playing a home game here to a Broncos team that had a shot at beating the Chiefs last week and couldn't do it. And I think the Panthers can put up more points simply than the Broncos, and they have way more weapons on the offensive side of the ball, also coming off a bye. So I think the Panthers are just kind of in a good spot here. So I'll take them 27-20.
I am. I'm glad we got a game running, but has to be the fucking Broncos Panthers is starting for us. I wish I would fall somewhere in the middle of the running of the ball, so it was just like an add-on at that point.
Hey man, we were all running with Washington last week. Thought we were crazy, and sure enough, they got the dub. So
I should have stuck to my words when I said they were going to win the game.
Yeah,
right.
They were a very trendy pick, and it worked out for people. Yeah, the spread, I get why the spread was trendy, but they were very trending to win the game outright, and I kind of thought people were a little nuts for that. But when you look at it, the days rest Washington had compared to Pitt and everything going on, it did make sense. And well, yeah, Chaz, you should have. You almost picked it. You picked the spread. It's all that matters on this show. We got that. We got that, but. All right, Adam, we're going to Chicago. Your Bears are 1.5-point underdogs against a team that has 4 wins this year, I believe. Houston Texans over under 45.5. You got to start this. How we feel after that? First I'll fuck the Bears too last week for costing one of my locks that actually looked locked at one point too.
You know what it is, man? Like the Bears, I don't mind when they lose to good teams because I don't think they're a good team. But when you lose to Minnesota at home and then Detroit at home, the way that happened, I mean, how do you go back into the locker room and then get ready for the next game after that horrible loss where for some reason you have one of the best defenses in the league and you choose to pass the ball on your own 10-yard line, 3rd and 4, under 2 minutes, run the ball, trust your defense, but it's just a summary of Matt Nagy's tenure with the Bears. They just don't run the ball. Like they ran the ball in the first half and then they just stopped in the second half. Like if you run the ball effectively, your defense will be off the field, you win games. It's not that hard of a formula in the NFL, but for some reason they choose not to do that. That being said, Mitch played pretty well. Their defense let him down, which was kind of frustrating, but I think that just goes to show how little faith they have left in the coach when your defense is playing that bad a couple weeks in a row. I just think it's a bad sign. So I'm not going to pick the Bears to beat anybody right now. And I see Deshaun Watson making this a revenge game. He played pretty well last week. He had a tough break. He missed a bad snap to end the game.
Yep. Fucking cost me with a lock.
Yeah, but he's been playing well, and Deshaun Watson is just legit, and I think he sees this as a game to really get back the Bears for not drafting him, because as much as he says it wouldn't bother him, I would bother anybody. So I'm going to take the Texans to win here, and I think Chicago is just not going to beat anybody right now. So I'll go Houston. I like some points here. I do like the over a lot again. I will go 28-21 Houston.
All right. Well, Bears started 3-0, Adam. Started 1-0, I was like, whatever, Bears started 1-0. Started 2-0, 2 lucky wins, we're like, whatever. And they were 3-0, that's when I started buying. Then they lost, whatever, but then they won 2 more, then I was really buying. And then even during this whole losing streak, I still didn't want to sell out on the Bears. Subject to change. Everything's subject to change because you never know with me. You never know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm never picking the Bears again this season. Never picking the Bears again this season.
Subject to change.
So, with that said, give me the Texans -1.5. Fuck the Bears, especially after last week. And I think similar score of what you said, Adam. Give me the Texans 28-20.
Gang, you've honestly been maybe more on the Bears than I have this year. You've defended.
I might have been. Yeah.
They have just welcome.
Jesus Christ. That was good stuff. I'm shocked that neither of you took the Bears getting a 1.5 home. Boys, let's run with the Bulls again. I'm on the Texans.
Run 'em.
Let's go.
Deshaun Watson, no problem there.
We've been on the Bears so much this year, and they keep letting us down. And I don't know how many weeks in a row or how many weeks total that the Bears have been in our locks and just haven't given us a win. Horrible loss last week. And the Texans should have beat the Colts. I mean, if Deshaun Watson doesn't bobble that snap, that was first and goal from the 3-yard line. Like they win that football game and they'd be 5-8. This Texans team is playing good. Watson didn't play great last week, but Deshaun Watson, like you said, AT, I think he's going to have something to prove coming into Chicago and showing them what they missed out on. And this Bears defense that everyone thinks is still really good just let up 402 yards and 3 touchdowns to Matthew Stafford. So I think Deshaun Watson could have a nice day, but I'm not going to take the Bears to win right now either. I'm with both of you guys. I'll take the Texans 24-16.
I like that running with the Bulls. It's a great way to follow up.
Yeah.
2 straight.
Yeah, that's it. Very curious to see if it's 3 straight on this one. Adam, I'm going to have you start this game too because we got your Dolphins. We all know the history through Dolphins last year. Usually games something like this, Dolphins are getting 7 points. You would take it and they would cover, and it's a big thing. But then the Dolphins come out and they're still in a division race for the AFC East, looking like they have a pretty legit shot at in the playoffs out of the AFC. And now they're even at home, but now they're still 7-point underdogs. The over under 49.5. Issue is MVP frontrunner Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs coming into town. How are we feeling about your Fins this week, Adam?
Tell you what, man, this really does remind me of last year. I'm with my if it was 6.5, it'd actually be every game. But I like the Fins to cover. I really do. I look at the Chiefs last week, and they're obviously a fantastic team. They may not lose another game this year, but they can be stopped in the red zone against the defense. And I think the Broncos showed that last week. And the Finns, are playing really, really well. And I think they know they have to contain him somehow. And if any defense can, I think the Finns can at least keep him out of the end zone, kicking field goals, kind of like last week was with Denver. And the Dolphins, I think, are going to go into this game saying we're going to run the football. We're going to eat the clock, give Mahomes as little time as possible. I'd love to pick a push here, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm obviously going to take the Finns to cover. But I think that they have a little success defensively, but I do not think they will win this game. I'm not that crazy. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, Finns to cover, and they slow down Mahomes a little bit. Give me 24-20 Kansas City.
Chaz, you're about to have another big say because I don't know if I want to run with the Bulls against the Chiefs, but it might because I'm also going to take the Finns to cover the 7 here. And, Adam, as you said, I know. I love my Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to win the game. And I tell you what, the Chiefs are still going to win the Super Bowl too. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But 7 points is a big number for this Miami team that's been obviously finding a way to win football games almost all year. Has a pretty good defense. And this Chiefs team, their one loss coming to the Raiders. Raiders gave them a battle their second time around. Chaz, as you mentioned, like Panthers stayed close with the Chiefs. Denver stayed close with them last week. Those Chiefs team's good. They're good. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I still truly believe that, but it's not like they're blowing teams out every single week. Teams can stay close. And the way this Miami team is built, their defense, I do think at home, especially, that they kind of hang around with the Chiefs too. If they could somehow steal a pick against Mahomes too, it goes a long way. I'm not going to be shocked if they win this game. I don't think they do, but 7's a pretty big spread for a Miami team that's playing well and has a defense as good as they are. I don't care who they're playing, especially if the Finns are staying at home. So give me the Chiefs to win this one. Give me the Dolphins to cover. And I actually think it gets a little high scoring too. I might have his best game of his career so far. I'll take the Chiefs 31-27.
Well, again, you're going to get your wish. We will not run with the Bulls against the Chiefs.
Thank God.
Yeah. The Chiefs are 0-4 against spread the last 4. And it just feels like they're kind of due to come back on the scene. They should have covered against Tampa. They let Tampa come back in that. But let's not forget the last time Mahomes was in Miami, he won a Super Bowl MVP. So he's very comfortable playing there. And me picking the Chiefs to cover here, it's not a knock on the Dolphins. I just think the Chiefs are going to pretty much treat this like a playoff game. Obviously, the Dolphins are a very good team. They're going to be in the playoffs. And the Steelers got their loss. And the Steelers could also lose this week. So the Chiefs see this opportunity to take advantage. I think they're going to come ready to play. I think they're going to keep their foot on the pedal or foot on the gas and put up points here. I'm with you, Gank. I like the points. I like the over. Last week Mahomes was slowed down. He still had 318 yards and a touchdown. I think he does more than that this week, unfortunately for UAT for fantasy. But I'll take the Chiefs to win and cover and move to 12-1. I'll take him 31-20.
This game's kind of a trap game for the Chiefs too, I think.
No respect for the Finns D, huh, boys?
It's Pat Mahomes.
I respect the Finns D. I respect Pat Mahomes more.
Yeah. Well said.
Well, yeah, like I said, I do think this could be a trap game for the Chiefs too. And maybe the Chiefs don't want to show their full hand, thinking they could see the Dolphins again too. But just know that the Chiefs do play New Orleans next week.
That they do.
Mm-hmm.
That one's
big game.
Very, very excited for that
makes
one.
them
Wait,
so they're not slipping up here.
That's going to be like a 4:00 game, isn't it? It's not the night.
That's not Sunday night. That's 4:25, and CBS, who has it next week, locked it in. They won't let the NFL take that away from them. They're keeping that game at 4:25.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Which I'm fine with. Yeah, we got Giants Browns Sunday night next week now.
It's going to be fucking
G-Man, baby.
13-10 Browns. Is that what that's going to be?
Yeah, but it's to be like I said, it's like that Thursday night game we have tomorrow at the Rams and like Patriots. It's gonna be low scoring, but it's gonna be one of those exciting low scoring games because it's actually gonna be good. And two teams are playing for something that actually means something. So I think we're all right with it. But yeah, we might get 17-13. Like I said, I got 17-13 in the Rams game, 17-13 in the Giants-Browns game. Sounds about right too, huh? All right, another one. Games, like I said, getting better again here. Big NFC showdown here. Vikings 6.5-point dogs on the road here in Tampa Bay. Over under 51.5. If I'm not, Bucks are 7-5, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy. Yeah, and Vikings all of a sudden after their brutal start to the season, sitting at 6-6, only a game behind, and could be a huge win for the Vikings here too. Obviously, they get the win, puts them at the same record. That puts the Vikings at the tiebreaker over the Buccaneers and this Viking team that, like I just said, you look at them, this team and record a month ago, almost next to dead. All of a sudden, they have a chance to be 7-6 and almost comfortably in a wild card situation if they could beat Tampa Bay and pull a tiebreaker on them here. That said, I don't think it's that easy going into Tampa Bay and winning, especially against Tom Brady. Tom Brady has 2 weeks to prep for you. I will say this about the Bucs. I mean, Tom Brady went to this team before the season started. All the signings they have, all the names and players coming in. It was never really too big and bought in on the Bucs. I figured they would be good enough to make the playoffs and maybe not win a playoff game. And then you've seen the Bucs get hot. I started kind of buying in. I thought maybe they were better than I thought, and kind of upset I sold out on myself a little too quick starting to buy into them, because all of a sudden I'm feeling the same way I thought about this team coming into the season. I don't think they're that great, and I don't really know. They can maybe steal a playoff win because the NFC East is, or the NFC in general, is wide open and defenses are questionable. But I just don't think the Bucs are really that good. And the way the Vikings are playing, I do think they could go into Tampa Bay and win. I'm not going to pick it. I'm definitely going to pick the Vikings to cover the 6.5. But my biggest factor is I think Tom Brady and this team having 2 weeks to prepare is going to find a way to get the job done. I will say this, don't buy too much stock on the Bucs. I actually think the Vikings are the better team. I just think they're getting the Bucs at the wrong time. Give me the Buccaneers to win, Vikings to cover. I'll go Bucs 27-24.
Yeah, gang, I don't know. I think you're being a little harsh on the Bucs. I mean, they've had a pretty tough schedule. A new quarterback, no offseason. 7-5 is kind of where I thought they'd be, maybe 8-4. But after having played the Saints twice, right? Those are 2 losses. But I'm not concerned about the Bucs. All credit to the Vikings and Mike Zimmer for being 1-5 and now 6-6, beating some. They beat the Packers, but they also beat some bad teams. But that really doesn't matter. They're 6-6. I think the Vikings cover here. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. Kirk Cousins has 3 touchdown passes in the past 4 games, I believe. How about it? Huh? Justin Jefferson looks really good. And I don't see this Vikings D stopping Brady. I mean, they just gave up 28 points to Glennon, was it, or something like that? So I have no faith in the Vikings D here. I like the points. I think the Bucs win, but Vikings cover. And I will go with 31-27 Tampa Bay.
Jeez. I'm going against you guys again. I like the Bucs this week, and I kind of like them a lot. I think the Vikings almost lost last week at home to the Jaguars. The Jaguars got the stop in overtime. They send to overtime, got the stop, and then Mike Glennon just threw a pick to give a layup to the Vikings and give them their 6th win. But the thing with the Vikings is, and the reason Kirk is playing so well and has 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games, is because they can run the ball and lean on Dalvin Cook. And this Bucs defense is the best defense against the run. And I'm not saying Dalvin's going to have a horrible game, but I think they're going to maintain him enough to make Kirk Cousins in that play action game not be as good as it is as it is right now. And then you have Tampa coming off a bye. Tom Brady 13-4 off a bye in his career. I think this Tampa team, who we saw him drop a few games before that bye, this bye kind of came at a good time, get him back on track, give him another week to get AB acclimated to that offense. And I think the Bucs lost 3 or 4, I think, at home here. in a huge game for the NFC. I don't see Tom Brady losing this game, and I think they come out ready to play. So I'll take the Bucks 28-20.
Goddamn Bucks. Big game from Thielen coming. Daily fantasy play.
Brady fantasy play, baby. Need a big
What's
one.
that?
Brady's a big.
I need
Brady should have a pretty good game. Like I said, I mean, I think we all had that game pretty high scoring
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
for
only
the
have
most part.
20. I think that's kind of low for. I don't know. The Vikings defense is not good, so we'll see.
No.
It is just not good.
I don't think the Bucks defense. I mean, the Bucks, like you said, Chaz, Bucks could stop the run. I think you could throw all over that fucking team, though. I don't think the Bucks secondary is good at all. You put Jefferson and Thielen out there.
They're hit or miss. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to take their chance and make Kirk beat them.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. How about it, Kirk, huh?
Gank room for Kirk. I love it.
I am. We're going to see two teams in the NFC East make the playoffs.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? What I'm talking about is the 7th seed in the NFC is 6-6, and the Giants and Redskins are 5-7. So
I
I'm
understand.
just saying.
I understand the standing. Thank you, but I don't. Would you like to bet that, Gank?
But
That 2 NFC East teams will make the playoffs? Because I don't think that's going to happen.
no, it's not going to. But I'm just saying it's not dead. Like you got two
It's
teams in the
definitely not
NFC
dead.
East, one
Oh,
game
no,
behind in a playoff spot.
Yeah, it's of course
Yeah.
not dead, but you know,
And
let's not get carried away.
I'm just saying if the Vikings lose, who have the 7th seed right now, fall to 6-7, and the Giants and Washington win this week, very possible with their games and matchups.
I agree.
All of a sudden, you got a clusterfuck at 6-7 and everything fighting for this last playoff spot.
That would be wild.
Classic last NFC
Yeah.
spot is always
Because Arizona, who's the one team at 6-6, the Giants have the one against them, so they'll be 6-7.
no. I
Yeah,
Let's
it's
just,
wild.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
it's possible. I agree.
I think it's possible if things work out this week. I don't know the tiebreakers actually. I would think Minnesota has it at 6-7, but depending on the tiebreakers, it's actually possible where the playoff picture after this week could have 2 NFC East teams in it. I think Minnesota would still have the tiebreaker in that situation, but don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to remember based off of shit I heard.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's go to the AFC South where my favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, Jazz, I know we said how, Minnesota struggled, took it to beat them, but let's look at the Jags. This team's the king of backdoor recovering and honestly keeping games close in the fourth quarter recently. Did against Green Bay also, and they tend to cover. And the Jacksonville Jaguars at home plus 7.5. I'm going to pick them to cover that spread once I have the hook on the touchdown. If I ever have more than a touchdown with the Jags, I'm going to take them and just trust that even if I need a backdoor, I'll get it backdoor. But Jags, 7.5 point dogs at home against the Titans here. Over under 52.5. You heard me say I am going to take the Jags to cover here. I'm going to pick the Titans to bounce back and win this game. I think the key storyline this game here is kind of a little bit battle of the running backs here. Derrick Henry, I think, has a chance coming off a slow week to have a massive game against this Jaguars defense. But the Jaguars, no matter who their quarterback is, no matter what, like their quarterbacks always just seem to be good fantasy options. They come out there and they just find a way to move the ball and score. They just can't stop anyone. And James Robinson has guys been running for practically 100 yards, if not more, every week too. And you saw the Browns arguably run the ball better than any team in the league in general. Anyway, you got them, and I think the Ravens. Look at some teams that run the ball great, but Ravens are able to run the ball against. Browns able to run the ball. I think James Robinson can find some success on the ground. See a lot of this game staying on the ground, but both these defenses, kind of been exposed at times. Jaguars especially, they do allow points. Not surprised the quarterback's going to go, and over-under is high at 52.5. I actually think this game's pretty fun. Give me the Titans to win, Jags to cover, and taking the Jags, I got the hook. I'm going to take the hook. Titans 30-23.
Yeah, Gank. I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I think the hook is the big thing. I like the Titans by a touchdown. Titans just got embarrassed, and I took the under last week. Won't be doing that again. I love the over. And the Jags, to your point that their offense keeps putting out points. Jay Gruden, the old Skins coach that I believe took Kirk Cousins to a Pro Bowl and had some success with him, is their offensive coordinator. So give him credit there. James Robinson having a great year. And I just see neither defense making enough plays to keep this game low scoring. But I could see the Titans kind of cruising, Jags coming back late to keep it close. But I do love the over, and I like the points. So I will go 34-27 Tennessee.
Yeah, let's run with the Bulls, the Jags, 2 weeks in a row, boys.
Yes. Always works.
I mean, you'd be crazy if you thought I was taking the Titans.
I knew you weren't taking the Titans. It was more on who Adam was.
Yeah.
I wasn't shocked if Adam would have taken the Titans there.
I mean, this Titans team, I talk about them all week or all year. Obviously, they got embarrassed last week by the Browns at home. But like I said, the Jags almost went into Minnesota and won last week. And Mike Glennon played it. I mean, he had the turnover in overtime to lose the game. But he, for the most part, played pretty well. He can move the football and move this offense to score points. And like you said, gang, James Robinson is a story this year, and it's awesome to see what he's been doing with the changing quarterbacks for the Jags, and a team that has 1 win. But these two teams played earlier in the year. The Titans won by 3 points in a game where they were up and let Jacksonville come all the way back. They had to go to overtime. So if they won by 3 at home, I think the Jags here, who have been playing better with Mike Glennon, I think they keep it close. I'll take the Titans to win, but I think the Jags, like I said, keep it close. And that hook is big, but I'll take a 6-point game. I'll take Titans 27-21.
Is that 3? Running with the Bulls right now?
Yeah, 3. Panthers, Texans, Jags.
We got a list of some fucking teams. We got to combine 9 wins on the season.
Literally, I think we're at 4-7, 4-7, 4-8, and then 1 and whatever the fuck the Jags are. But they cover, man. We don't pick, they cover.
Great teams cover. And I tell you what, the Jags are a great fucking team. All right, now we're into the later swing here, 4 o'clock swing, and we're gonna start off with the big one actually. AFC showdown here. Indianapolis traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Big playoff implications all around in this one. Both teams obviously well in the race. Raiders 3-point dogs at home here, over under 51.5. And I actually love the Raiders to, I think, win this game outright. The Raiders struggled. Were almost embarrassing loss to the winless Jets last week before Greg Williams. Really the definition of taking one for the team here. I mean, this guy lost his job for the fact that, like, you know what, we can't win this game. That's just going to hurt the franchise. So sending the all out, letting the Raiders get that touchdown. I think the Raiders kind of take that little momentum into home here. I mean, the Raiders have had success. We're talking about a team that maybe been struggling a little recently, but the Raiders also handed the Chiefs their only loss and got a win against the same team. I mean, there's 2 teams that have the longest win streaks in the NFL right now. Raiders taking them out both. And I think the Raiders kind of click at home here. This Colts defense, week after week, as much as I like them, week after week, I start to think I just maybe been giving them a little too much credit too soon. I still think they're good. I still think they're very good, but not as good as I've been giving them credit for throughout most this season. I think the Raiders are going to be able to find a way to score at home. They seem to do that well. They seem to be playing well at home, especially offensively. And I think they take care of the Colts here. Give me the Raiders. Win this one outright, 26-23.
Yeah, Gank, I saw this game, and I still don't really have much of a feel for it. I feel like you have 2 teams here who can show up, not show up. I mean, they could get smoked by you just never know with either of these teams. I have been higher on the Colts this year, so I'm going to stick with the Colts to win and cover this game. The Raiders the past 2 weeks, I mean, say what you want about finding a way to win, but they got smoked by the Falcons and should have lost to the winless Jets. So that doesn't make me feel confident in what they're doing there. They're very inconsistent. The Colts, I think, are getting a little more healthy. They're getting back to some Colts football, running the ball, playing a little D. So, I do see some points here. I don't think either defense will have a big day, but I like the Colts to win. I like them to cover. I'm going to go 28-21 Indy.
Yeah, I'm with Gank here. I'm actually going to take the Raiders outright too. I think coming home is going to be good for them. Obviously, last week they probably should have lost to the Jets, and like you said, AT got embarrassed by the Falcons. But this Colts team also should have lost last week to the Texans. So, and we say it every week, this defense isn't as good as we thought. And this Raiders team, the one thing they can do is score points. Other than the game against Atlanta, I mean, they've scored 30 plus points 4 out of the last 5 games. I think coming home here to a Colts defense that isn't as good as we thought and has been letting up a lot of points, I think this Raiders offense can get going. And it simply comes down, I think the Raiders can score more points than Philip Rivers and the Colts. So I think the Raiders at home here, massive game for the AFC playoff picture. I think the Raiders know that and playing at home, even though, the home field advantage really doesn't mean much this year with no fans, but I still think the Raiders here at home against a Colts team that I think is a little overrated. I think the Raiders get it done. I'll take the Raiders 31-24.
Oh, is that only like the second game we picked different over than Thursday night game?
I feel like you two have been on everything, and I've been like the deciding factor.
It's kind of been the other way. Yeah. Wow, you're right.
Yeah. We've been riding a lot together this week.
I really don't want to bet Colts Raiders. That's not exactly where
I think we only have 2 options right now with decent list left still though, but
yeah, there's still left, but Jesus.
yeah. Jets in Seattle here. Seattle 13.5-point favorites at home, over under 46.5. Seattle kind of little struggle kind of recently, but I'm still not ready to sell out on them. I'm going to stick with my guns, stick with this team to make it this Super Bowl. As long as Russell Wilson's healthy, I'll firmly believe I have a shot at that happening. And with that said, I picked the Jets a lot this year, and similar to your Bears, Adam, I ain't to go as all out as I did against the Bears, as I did earlier in the show, as I will with the Jets, but I'm going to keep this very short and sweet here. And that's, I've seen Seattle struggle somewhat recently. I don't think they're that bad. I think they're a lot better than what we've seen. And like I said, as long as Russell Wilson is healthy in the pocket, I'm still going to stick with this team as my Super Bowl pick because he can get it going at any given time, especially this time of the year. I think he bounces back strong. I think he has a big game. I think the Seahawks blow out the Jets at home. Give me Seattle 31-14.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird one for me because Seattle seems like that team that doesn't really blow anybody out. Even when they beat bad teams, games are usually close because their defense has played so bad. I'm sure Jamal Adams against his old team is going to be very fired up and ready to make some plays. Unfortunately, his boy Greg Williams is gone. But I'm not going to take this. I like the Jets to cover here. I do. I think Seattle, like I said, just doesn't really do enough to win by 2 touchdowns. I don't think their defense is good enough, and the Jets have come very close to winning a few games and stayed in a few games recently. I mean, Seattle's going to cruise. I don't think this is any much of a game, but I just think the Jets will cover here. I'll go 30-20 Seattle.
Yep, I'm with Gank on this one too. I thought we were going to be running with the Bulls, but I think, it's pretty simple. The Seahawks, horrible loss last week to Colt McCoy. All credit to the Giants for going into Seattle, winning that game. But now they got now they got the other New York team, and the Jets. They should have had their win last week. They didn't get it, and now they got to go travel cross country to an angry Seahawks team who needs to get back on track, kind of in all aspects. Russ needs to get back on track, and that offense really needs to. It's a good matchup for the defense because the Jets can't score. And like you said, I think Jamal Adams is very excited for this game and is going to be ready to play. So I think the Seahawks roll here. I think the Jets are just going to come out flat. So I'll take the Seahawks 33-10.
I don't want to bet the Jets either, gang. So don't.
I assume you're not betting the Jets. Yeah. I wasn't going to ask you.
You're smart enough for that. Yeah, there we go.
I did want to ask you something, and it involves the next game here with the Falcons and Chargers. Chargers 2.5-point dogs at home, over under 48.5. I'm going to say it's short and sweet first. Fun game, high scoring, exciting. Falcons win and cover, though. Game goes over 31-28. But Adam, I'm going to need a favor for you since you're the king of getting like coaches fired on this show. Can you like call Anthony Lynn to get fired after this game? Because when I look at this Charger team, I mean, I look at Herbert, I'm excited. You look at Eckler, I'm excited. You look at Keenan Allen, I'm excited. Mike Williams, defense, really bad luck with injuries this year, but figure get an all season, get them healthy. Can we please have somebody else leading this team into next season? Because this team has a chance to be good and fun with the right guy getting in. So can you have like the Falcons win, and can you get Anthony Lynn fired this week for us, or what could you do?
I do feel bad because Anthony Lynn seems like an awesome dude. He looks cool on Hard Knocks, stand-up guy. But I've been calling it for a few weeks, and it's coming, gang. Don't worry.
All right.
I wouldn't worry about it. And I mean, it's only a matter of time at this point because, like you said, their roster obviously banged up with injuries. Don't get me wrong. But when you look around, I mean, you got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Eckler, you got Joey Bosa on the defense. Like, you got to win some games, dude. And they're not losing by a lot. They're losing close games, which usually means the coaching is bad, at least from what I've experienced. Belichick wins close games, bad coaches don't. So I like Atlanta again. I'm not going to pick the Chargers to beat anybody after that terrible, terrible loss last week. I mean, you gave up 45 points and the opposing quarterback had 70 passing yards.
Apparently Anthony Lynn came in like before that game that week too. Like, apparently came in at some point and saying like, well, the playoff push is like pretty much over. Said that to his team.
Nice.
Just think all will play out for them.
He's just not an LA guy. He doesn't seem like he needs to be in like a Midwest team, like run the foot like Buffalo. He's in Buffalo before, he did pretty well. So either way, again, I agree with you. I'm going against Herbert, but I have Keenan, so I don't want to say the over, but I think there's a lot of points here.
Keenan's to get his in this game.
That's all I care about as long as Keenan gets it. So I'll take Atlanta to win. I like them to cover as well, but I do see a bounce back. Chargers lose a close one. I'll go 31-24 Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I'm with the Falcons.
Running.
Balls.
They're running. I like that.
I'm with you guys as well. I think I love the points here. And, I mean, Anthony Lynn, like you guys just touched on, I think he's got to be out. Losing 45-0 to the Patriots at home is just such a horrific loss on top of the season they had with, the losses and how they've lost those games. This roster's talented, and they're just not. I mean, they're so much better than a 3-9 football team. But with that being said, I think the Falcons are a better team. I mean, these are two teams that really know how to lose games late. So we'll see what team can actually hang on. But I really like the points. I probably like it better than the spread, but I'll trust Atlanta a little more just because, I mean, we saw nothing from the Chargers last week to give us any hope of picking them. So I will take the Falcons 28-24.
This could be a fun game to watch. I mean, I won't be really watching it.
It'll be fun.
To watch.
It should be fun. Yeah. All right, Chaz. Probably wanted to be starting with you because I love hearing your intake with living out near Philly, hearing the radio and everything. Now we got the Eagles making the quarterback change Wentz to Hurts here. We all know the story. Wentz contract extension doesn't even kick into next year, and he's already getting the bench for a rookie this year. Now the Eagles 7-point dogs at home to the red hot New Orleans Saints, over under 44.5. And Chaz, I just need to know what Philly's thinking and feeling.
It's weird because before this week, everyone was calling for Jalen Hurts, and now that they've named him the starter, it's kind of like half for happy, half for like, what the hell? Why are we benching Wentz? So it's kind of split, honestly. But I think, Doug Peterson came in and did his news conference and said he just needs to try and get a spark on this team. But I'll say right now, I don't think they cover here. 7's a lot of points, but this Saints defense is playing out of their mind the last 5 games. 44 points total in 5 games for this defense. And now you have Jalen Hurts making his first career start against them. I think it's just a bad spot for him, obviously. He did come in last week against Green Bay. He had a spark. He threw a touchdown. He looked good with his legs, but the Saints defense playing the way they are, obviously they're 10-2, playing for the 1 seed in the NFC. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna have a long day. So and the Eagles defense really isn't what we thought it was. Darius Slay's banged up. I don't even know if he's gonna play. So I'll take the Saints to win and cover 24-13.
Yeah, Chaz. I mean, I'm completely on board with you there. I think the Saints cover this game kind of easily. I really like the under here. I've just been seeing the Saints defense play incredibly well, and Taysom Hill has played well, but the Saints haven't scored a lot of points in their wins. They've just played great defense, ran the ball. I think they only won, 21-16 against the Falcons last week or something like that. But I just, Jalen Hurts is in trouble. I mean, their offensive line sucks. And maybe do they have a slightly better chance to win this week because Jalen Hurts can move around in the pocket and avoid sacks better than Wentz? Yeah. But what are you going to do with Wentz the next 2 years? He's going to be your guy. So I don't really understand the change. But I guess Pedersen's trying to save his job. Maybe that's it. That being said, Saints win here. They cover here. I have no reason to pick the Eagles. They did not look like they even wanted to be there against the Packers when I watched them. So I'll take the Saints to win. I'll take them to cover. And I think this is a pretty boring game. Give me 23-13 New Orleans.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this game is when every single Eagle fan should be begging for Wentz back next week, because I think Jalen Hurts is going to come in and do absolutely nothing against this Saints defense that has been playing pretty damn well. I think this one's to get ugly for Philly. This is to put things over the edge. Just puts Doug Peterson officially on the hot seat once this game's all said and done, because I really don't think Jalen Hurts will be able to do anything against this defense. I think the Saints just come into Philly, take care of business. I could be wrong, and then I'll be looking like an idiot on the show next week. But I am fading Jalen Hurts in this decision hard this week. I don't even want to hate Jalen Hurts. I think he has a chance to be good. I just think Philly's bringing him in at the worst time, and literally like what the Jets do with quarterbacks and ruin careers. Philly might ruin this fucking guy one game in, because they're literally bringing him in and giving him, I think, almost no chance at fucking winning a game, in a game that could get real ugly real quick. And then only go back to Wentz in maybe a near future anyway, which is just Hurts kind of, what the hell am I doing here? Why would I go in? Give me the Saints with ease at this one, 27-10 in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason Carson Wentz is a mental midget right now and can't play well, because their offensive line's bad and they don't have receivers that get separation. So,
maybe Hurts can buy time with his feet. This is not the game to throw him in. No. This is not the game you decide, we're going Hurts. I don't get that. All right, we'll stick to the NFC East, and the other team in the race, Washington, traveling to San Fran here. Washington, 3.5-point dogs on the road, over under 43.5. And I need to say something first, because it needs to get off my chest. The Alex Smith story's absolutely incredible, how he's back playing fucking football. But can we just stop the story? Can we bring up the fact that Alex Smith is at absolute best, maybe an average quarterback in his NFL career, and the guy's just simply not that great, nor close above average, because we all know I hate Kirk Cousins. And like I said, Alex Smith's story is incredible, but I was a bigger hater on Alex Smith than I ever even was Kirk Cousins. And now there's so much Alex Smith love going around, and I'm officially growing tired of it. So I kind of want it to fucking end. I mean, he does have this team winning, but Washington, very similar to the Giants. I mean, Washington, their front seven and defense in general is just very good. Giants defense has been playing very good, and that's why these two teams in this division have kind of turned into the two-team race between those two, which is what no one saw coming. If it was a two-team race, everyone's thinking Philly and Dallas. But with that said, I mean, I can't stand Alex Smith and the love for him as a football player. I mean, do you take away his 2016 season? where he barely threw for over 4,000 yards and 26 touchdowns. The guy does not have a single season in his NFL career where he at least hit 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. He has literally been average at best. I don't know how many playoff games he's won. It's not a lot. And the guy's just not that good. I think San Fran's defense kind of gets him figured out here. They got a few weeks of tape on him because he has been playing somewhat well this year since he's taken over, but still throws a handful of interceptions. I think the 49ers defense figures him out, slows him down enough. Over under is low, 43.5, as it should be. Two good defenses battling it out against two teams that are starting quarterbacks that are not starting for them at the beginning of the season. Give me the Niners winning this one at home, close 20-17. Skins cover, though. Skins cover because they got the hook.
Wait, so the Saints are with the Bulls, right? We all picked them to cover just real quick. -7.
Yes.
I mean, gang, I think you're right in your assessment. I don't think people necessarily think that Alex Smith is very good. Whereas Kirk Cousins at least is in that conversation. I really don't believe Alex Smith has gotten any of that. I mean, he was on the Chiefs and played pretty well, but I mean, you know what he is. And it's a nice story. But on a team with a good defense, that's all you have to be, dude, is a game manager. Yeah. And that's why they won the game. You know, it was 300 yards and a touchdown or whatever it was. It's why they won the game last week, and that's why I think they're going to keep it close this week. I'm going to pick Washington to win it outright. It's a hotter team right now. The Niners, they had a tough week last week, obviously against the Bills, who look fantastic. My Bills look great. Nothing new. But, you know, Washington is playing confident, and I think they're going to keep this going against the Niners team that's in a weird spot, playing in Arizona. I just don't think it's the Niners' year, and I think this is the final nail in the coffin for them, where Washington has a lot more to play for. So low scoring, I agree. Washington wins a similar game with the Steelers. I'll get them 20-17, the football team.
Yeah, I've been on Washington a lot this year. They've been kind of one of my teams I picked, but this isn't the week. We're not running with the Bulls here.
Not right.
I think the Niners defense is way, way better than what we saw last week against the Bills. And I think this week, I think they're going to play well. And I said it last week, and obviously they lost. So I don't think the Niners go 0-2 in Arizona. Like, when you factor in everything that's going on with them, like not being able to see their family for 6 weeks, I don't think they're going to want to go 0-2 and make it even worse on themselves. I think they have something to play for, even though they're 5-7. Make it worth their while to be away from their family and friends and everything like that. Washington, obviously, huge win last week. But I think going cross country and playing a Niners team that is getting healthier, I think the Niners are just going to – I think the Niners are going to get a win here. And I think Washington moves to 5-8. Obviously, nice for the Giants and the rest of the NFC East, but I think the Niners pull this one out, so I'll take them 24-17.
I'll take a Washington loss.
I think you get it.
I still can't believe they won last week. Or the other day, I should say. Like I said, we all picked on, cover and everything.
The win's
and I want to say I'm not surprised that they did win the game outright. It's the fact that Pittsburgh was up 14-0 in that game.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
You kind of think like Steelers end of the game will just make more plays because they're much more experienced, Mike Tomlin. And I mean, they got out. Like at the end of that game, they were out coached, outplayed, everything. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah. For Ron Rivera's, I mean, I think Washington and the Giants both have their guy, which I kind of like because Dallas and Philly are in absolute shambles, and the Giants and Washington are like, I think we got our guys at coach here and see what we can do.
Football is kind of fun when the Cowboys and Eagles are both terrible, and the fans are mad. Like everybody else is just like.
It's funny. My brother was saying that too. He's like, no, if two teams in the NFC East are going to battle it out, I'd rather hit those two because fuck Philly and Dallas doing it. Let's go to the NFC North here. Green Bay traveling to Detroit. Green Bay 7.5-point road favorites. Highest over and under of the week at 55.5 here. I would take Green Bay to win this one. and cover with ease. The over/under, I think, is actually very close. But look at this game. I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to find a way to go off against this Detroit defense. I mean, it's been what most the Bears, who obviously just lost. I mean, but the Bears scored points against them. We know what that's like, Adam, huh? You don't see that too often.
No.
How many? 31 too?
30 points. Yeah, they scored 30.
Is that the only game they hit 30 all season?
Gotta be.
I think it is.
Gotta be.
And now you got who I think, like I said, I had Pat Mahomes my MVP. Now we got who I think is runner-up for MVP this year going against someone, Aaron Rodgers. Deshaun Watson, even the week before that on Thanksgiving Day, he torched his Detroit defense, and I'm just very excited to see for a big fantasy matchup too what Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams could do with this team. I think Green Bay's going to win this with ease, covered. I do think the game actually goes under when it's all said and done because Green Bay's defense, it's nothing great. We have seen teams score against them, but also not the worst defense. I mean, I think Seattle's worst defense, Detroit's worst defense. You got some worse defenses in the NFC. I think Green Bay's defense is good enough to keep them engaged, especially in a season where they know Aaron Rodgers is almost returning to peak Aaron Rodgers form. Give me the Packers with ease here, and I'll have the game go under the 55.5 by a little. I got the Pack 34-20.
Yeah, gang. I mean, I'm right there with you. And if I don't need to say too much about this, I'm playing against Devontae Adams, and I'm really not happy about it. I think he may put up 5 points. So I'm extremely scared, to say the least. But I don't think the Packers are gonna keep games close against bad teams with bad defenses all year. They're just, if you can't stop Rodgers in that offense, you're not going to beat the Packers. Simple as that. And Detroit just gave up 30 points to Mitch Trubisky in that high-octane Bears offense. So I have no reason to believe they will stop Green Bay, and I think that they win this game. I think Detroit actually does keep it close, but eventually Green Bay pulls away. And I'll take the unders because it's so high, but I'll go 30-20 Green Bay.
Yep, not running with the Bulls again, boys. I'm gonna take the Lions to win. Jesus Christ, I did it again.
Chaz, I feel like you love fucking picking Detroit whenever me and Adam are against them.
I did not. They're not winning the game, but I think that hook comes into play this week.
Fair.
Yeah, I feel like I do every time you guys are on Detroit, particularly.
100%.
I think this game is going to be a shootout. I know we talked about 55.5 is a lot of points, but Green Bay averaging 37 a game against the North this year. So I think they're going to put up 34 at least.
Rodgers.
But I think the Lions coming off, they put up 34 last week against the Bears. I think they're playing a worse defense and they're at home here in Detroit. I think they keep this close, and I think it's just touchdown after touchdown. But I think the hook comes into play. It's a divisional game. Obviously, these two teams know each other, but I think it's going to be a shootout. So I will take the Pack to win. I'm not totally crazy, but I'll take the Pack to win 34-27.
Very easily happen. Yeah. Not crazy at all.
Pack with these.
Let's not forget, last time Chaz said by mistake about a win, it happened. So imagine.
True.
That's true.
That is true. It was right around the same number, too.
Yep.
Yeah, very similar. Little different circumstances.
A little bit.
But yeah. And hey, it involved the Steeler team with that pick, though. Now Steelers 2.5-point dogs in Buffalo here, over under 46.5. And now, if I remember correctly, watching that Steeler game Monday night, I believe they had a spread out for this game that actually had it flipped where the Steelers were 2.5-point favorites until the game finished, and then the whole line moved back. With that said, I do think the Steelers, finally back to a full week of rest. I do think they bounce back here. Theory kind of proven long last week, but Josh Allen, who has grown on me very heavily this year, I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in this NFL. I still think he has a few struggles. I mean, he's only very young, year 2 or whatever, maybe 3. I think he grows out of it. But when it comes to good defenses, I mean, torch 49ers. I still think he's somewhat struggle. I think the Steelers are going to force this Bills team to, force Josh Allen to making mistakes. I think James Conner said come back. I think the Steelers said try to run the ball more because, you let Ben throw the ball 50 times and you lose. I think you're coming in with a little new game plan. Bills defense has been decent, but it's been nothing great. You can't score against the Bills defense. We have seen it. I think the Steelers will be able to find a way to run the ball. I think James Conner finds a way to run the ball coming back. And I think the Steelers bounce back to win in Buffalo, which will be their best and biggest looking win on the season so far. Give me the Steelers 24-20.
Yeah, gang. I completely agree. I know I've been on the Bills. We all know that. Yeah, and I know the boys won't be shocked. Literally, the only reason I'm picking the Steelers is because they lost last week. I had this game circled as a game that they would lose, but I think since they lost to the Skins, it was kind of a wake-up call. They come back ready to go. And Buffalo, riding a little bit high, maybe smelling, thinking they're better than they are. Josh Allen just played great, but that was against a banged-up Niners D. I think the Steelers defense is legit. Everybody hating on the Steelers. They're still 11-1, the AFC North. Everybody's just beating on them, but it's hard to go 12-0, and it's just difficult, even 11-1. So I don't know. Everyone's hating on them. I think they bounce back. I think they get back to Steeler football, run the ball, play some good defense. I don't even think Josh Allen plays bad. I don't see Buffalo's D showing up this week, and I really like the over in this game. Steelers getting 2.5 is plenty for me, so I'll go 28-24 Pittsburgh.
All right, let's run with them. We're on the Steelers.
Let's go.
Yep. I think the Steelers got their loss out of the way. I think that's the best thing that could have happened to them. But like you said, gang, this team needs to run the football. And Big Ben simply can't throw the ball 55 times because he throws the ball 3 yards, 4 yards every time. But their receivers aren't good enough. They have way too many drops that recipe is just simply not going to work in the playoffs. We've seen teams win the playoffs. They run the football and they have a good defense. Steelers obviously have an amazing defense. Obviously, they lost 2 huge pieces to injury, but their defense is still very, very good. They need to get a run game going. And I think last week will be a wake-up call. They get James Conner back this week. I think I think they're going to have to force him the ball. He's going to need, 15 carries a week just to limit Ben. And, but I like him here. I think they get back on track, especially now because all of a sudden they got the Browns in the rearview mirror for the North. If they drop this game to 11-2, the Browns, if they get a win, they'll be 10-3, and those two teams still play each other. So I think the Steelers get this win. I think the Bills kind of come off their high horse after the bit nice showing last week. I'll take the Steelers 23-21.
Let's go Pitt, huh? How many Ravens the Bulls do we have now? Is that 4 or 5?
We are at 6 going into the last game.
Oh, we're at 6? I mean, I'm going to have you read them all again before we get into our locks, just so we're set and clear. But in the last game, so one for you, Chaz. Talked about them to start the show, and now we're going to, start wrapping up the show with them. But your Ravens traveling to Cleveland. Ravens crushed Cleveland week 1 this year. And now going on the road, all of a sudden, record's kind of flipped. The Ravens somehow chasing the Browns in this division. But your Ravens still 1.5 point favorites in Cleveland here, over under 46.5. Do you agree with the line?
It hurts me to say, but yeah, I do. I think the Ravens lose this week. And when they lost to Pitt, I was very excited because their defense played amazing. I thought it was going to be a spark. Now they won by 17 points against Dallas. And like I said in the beginning of the show, as a fan, I didn't see enough to think that they go into Cleveland here and win, simply because, Dallas missed 3 field goals. So you add on those 9 points, they're in the middle to high 20s, and they missed a PI at the end of the second quarter. CeeDee Lamb missed a touchdown, hit him right in the palms at the end of the half.
That ball needs to be called.
That's a tie game at halftime if that's the case. Their defense, as good as they played against the Steelers, they took a step back this week. Calais Campbell's still not healthy. And as good as the run game looked, as good as Lamar looked on the ground, like I said, he made that one amazing touchdown pass, but he still missed throws that he should be making. And this Browns team, 9-3, coming off a big win against the Titans. I think at home here, I think they win this week. And I said I spoiled my hand for next week, but I think they lose to the Giants next week. So I will take the Browns to win. I hope I'm wrong, but I'll take the Browns 24-21.
Chaz, usually, I mean, this game I think is going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's a bit of a toss-up. You know, I personally wouldn't put money on it because you just don't know AFC North games. Anything can happen. And I usually lean with you with the Ravens, but I just got a gut feeling the Ravens are going to win this game. I don't really know why. The biggest thing that stand out to me is I'm still not bought into Baker, and I know that he played well, and it might not even matter because they can just run the ball. But Ravens D has been playing very well, I think, and I think they just show up this week. It's a big game, AFC North. Browns coming in on their high horse. The Ravens need a win way more. And I'm just not going to trust Baker primetime yet. I think he's got to prove a little more to me. Played great last week, don't get me wrong, but I think it's more of Kevin Stefanski is just a really good coach and probably should win Coach of the Year if they keep winning. So I'm going to take the Ravens. Not too confident here. This is more of a toss-up game for me, but I like them to win, and it'll be a fun game to watch. I'll go 24-21 Baltimore.
I'm weirdly with Adam here for almost every reason he said too, based on kind of gut when it's all said and done. The Browns, their team win total, we all picked their over. We're all going to hit it. I'm not like fully bought in to the Browns yet. I mean, the Ravens defense, Adam, like you said, I think is very good. And I think the Ravens defense is good enough to slow the Browns run down where they're going to force Baker to beat them. And as much as I actually don't even hate Baker and think Baker would still be decent, I don't think if he's asked to beat this Ravens defense that he could do it. And kind of like Adam, it's more based on gut. But I think that Ravens came out able to run the ball very well against Dallas last night. Hopefully they kind of, reestablish, keep that part of the offense going. Their defense gets hot. I think they could slow the Browns. And like you say, look at these two teams. I think these are the two best teams in terms of running the ball. So when you look at a game like this, it's kind of whatever team's going to jump out to the lead is probably going to hold on. So I don't know if I trust either of these teams to come back. And I just gut feeling and everything said, it's gut feeling that the Ravens are going to be the ones that do it and get this win here. As the Browns they're obviously good. They got the better record as of right now. I still don't know if I'm ready to say they're better than the Ravens yet. So I think the Ravens will be the team that jumps out and doesn't have to look back. Give me the Ravens 24-21.
Hope you boys are right.
I'm sure you do.
All right, I'll start with the Bulls. Got 6 of them. Panthers -3.5. Texans -1.5. Jags +7.5. Falcons -2.5. Saints -7. And Steelers +2.5. Those are the Bulls.
So we got 7 again?
No, 6.
6. So still need to win 5, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Still has to win 5, 4 out of 6, 66%.
Damn.
It's have a big week running with the Bulls. There's we're gonna do this, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be next week or week 16 where they come to a week where we're just gonna have 2. And then just both have to hit to give out the gift card.
Yeah.
Should be fantastic. But yeah, 5 out of 6, a big number. We'll see though. Be a nice week to hit. Adam, we need a bet, and I don't even know if I remember what the hell we got different.
oh, I don't know. I'm not betting the Jets. The Colts Raiders, I really don't want to bet that. Did you have the Vikings covering or the Bucks covering?
The Vikings.
Yeah, same.
I feel like you guys didn't disagree on anything. like 2 games.
What did you pick on? Gang,
You can take your Rams.
Yeah, I don't think I have another option, to be completely honest.
That's our only other option, I think, right now. I have no problem taking Bill Belichick getting 5 points at this point in the season.
That is good by me. I'm not betting the Colts or the Jets. So
okay.
You got Gonzo in your corner right there.
Hey, I can go down if I'm going down with Gonzo, I can live with that, man.
Gonzo's here's the thing though. Gonzo's 100% getting his loss this week because he's gonna get his. Here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna get his loss this week, and then he's gonna win next week, and then there's only one more Thursday night game after that, so he physically can't even lose 2 in a row at this point of the season unless we start picking playoff games with him too and everything.
No,
but,
he's regular season only.
yeah.
Thursday night. He's a Thursday night cat.
Yeah, I feel like he's only been Thursday night only. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure there's no Thursday night game week 17.
No, there's not.
So,
There's not.
yeah. So as long as he wins next week, he's going to go a whole season again without losing 2 in a row, which is going to be the case, but he loses this week.
Gonzo loves beating Gank, so don't worry.
He loves beating everyone.
All right, Adam.
Oh,
With that said, you start us off in locks too.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, I'm going to stay with that game. I'm going to take the under 45.5. I know it's a low number, but I really, really don't see a lot of points happening in that game.
That was the first fucking one I written down.
I am then going to go. I've probably taken this from you guys based on what you said. Saints -7. Lock that in. And my last one, where am I at? I'm gonna take the under in that game, actually, 44.5, Saints Eagles under. Couple of low unders for me.
False 44.5.
Yeah, really. Wow.
Wait, what was the first one? Under what?
Rams Pats 44.5 under.
Oh, they're both 44 now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll do first things first. I'll start with one I know that's it making on there. I'm going to go to Atlanta against the Chargers. And I'm going to take over 48.5 in that one because I see no way where that game doesn't hit at least 50 points. Second one. I got to pick between 2 here. Got a long list.
You got to pick.
What I meant to say is I got to pick 2 here. I got a list of 4 though that I like a lot equally. I'm gonna go to Pitt and take Pitt plus 2.5 against Buffalo.
That was
Chaz.
One of them.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sorry if I took that one. And last but not least is between 3. One of the 3 is the Giants plus 2.5. I'm not going to do that because sometimes I think it's my heart. I usually try to refuse to bet Giant games. So I'll pick one of the other 2. And I'm going to take the Raiders plus the 3. I think they, like I said, I got them winning the game outright against Indy. Chaz, the thing is, I'll tell you my other ones. I know you won't pick it, which I wish I'd taken. My other one was Minnesota plus 6.5 against Tampa.
Yeah, I wasn't taking it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's see what I got left there. All right, first, I did this once. It didn't work. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to take the Seahawks minus 13.5.
Oh, shit. All right.
Laying the points. Second, I'm going to take, I think you guys disagreed with me here, but I really like it. I'm going to take San Fran minus 3.5.
I don't hate it. I got San Fran winning the game by 3. It's the hook, so.
I don't love it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And then my last one, I will take Jesus Christ. I don't know if I want to put the Jags on there.
I tell you what, I locked the Jags a couple times this year, and it has not once failed me. Just throwing it out there.
I'll take the Texans minus 1.5.
All right, we got 3 of the 6 bowls in the locks.
All right. I think I like that.
Yeah. watch the Bears go and win this game.
Probably will.
They probably will because they've been
I
all year.
never picking the Bears. Not until the calendar turns.
Well, they ain't playing in January, so it's gonna have to wait till September.
Actually, if you want to get technical, I think Week 17 is played in January. That's Sunday.
They're playing the Pack. You're gonna pick the Pack, so
Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Week 17 that Sunday is
No,
January.
You're right. I think it's
Yeah,
Week 16 is the 27th. So yeah.
yeah. And the Bears are playing the Pack.
week 17.
Bears are going to win that when they realize that the Pack won how the division clinch.
Yeah, they wouldn't play anybody.
And two, the Pack still might be fighting for a 1 seed and bye there. though.
Yeah, with the Saints.
Yeah, it's the Pack at the top. They're a game behind the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And the Pack have the tiebreaker.
they won.
The
yeah.
Saints play the Chiefs next week, so like there's a chance those two could have the same record
Yep.
going into those games.
I'm not concerned because the probably not gonna be anything for the Bears. So
I mean, the Bears gonna be eliminated by then. Yes,
exactly. So we're not too worried about it.
you were 5-1.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is a fact.
All right. Well, we'll see where the Bears are at next week.
Hopefully another loss.
Hopefully, should be
Hopefully. For the loss.
later balls.